So we got some pretty dang important stuff to jump straight away into here in today's video. I guess you could call this an episode of Brawl News, seeing that we have a few different topics to discuss, but of course the main purpose of this video, as you guys can tell by the title, is to get some important info out to you guys, as I always try my best to do here on this channel. And the major thing that we need to talk about is, of course, a few noteworthy people here inside the Brawl Stars community, i.e. big YouTubers, had their accounts hacked. So I guess for a little timeline here, where this kind of came to my perspective personally is I was grazing the Brawl Stars subreddit as I normally do, trying to keep up with the community in certain ways, and I saw some pretty dang strange messages. Not a whole lot, but people posting such as this, their account getting hacked. This individual saying, "Guys, it's really important, someone hacked my account and I got banned. I tried to contact the dev team, but they didn't let me send a single message. Please help." Now, accounts getting hacked and stuff like that doesn't typically happen a whole lot here in Brawl Stars. Messages like this are very, very rare, so seeing that it is quite a minuscule amount of examples that I saw recently, at least, it's still very, very noteworthy. Myself, I've been covering this game for more than 4 years, and I rarely ever see problems such as this. But getting into probably the more popular example that I've seen here on Reddit, we have this individual posting something somewhat similar 12 days ago. "My account was hacked and now I can't log in or even contact Supercell in chat, please help." And they even ended up getting a response from Supercell. "Is it possible to get your player tag? I'll help as best as I can." So it's safe to say that something strange was going on, something a little bit out of the ordinary. Now, some time passed by, I didn't think that much else of these posts, but then shockingly, a video popped up in my recommended from a very, very popular Russian Brawl Stars YouTuber by Brawl Stars MMA. I'm sure you guys have heard of him. He's a pro player, he's phenomenal at the game, and he is killing it on YouTube. But he posted his most recent video one day ago, and I saw that blue screen with the red lettering again. But the video was incredibly similar to the posts that I saw on Reddit a few days ago. He actually got hacked as well. And along with MMA, there was a handful of other creators also making videos such as this, their accounts getting hacked to some degree, which is so bizarre. Now, before we get any further here today, you guys don't have to worry with this going on right now. It's already been addressed and corrected, which we will be getting into further here into this video. But even so, before it was addressed, it didn't seem to be impacting several people out there in the Brawl Stars space, only seeing a couple posts on Reddit and a few different content creators having the issue. So I don't think it affected a ton of people out there or anything like that, but still, it's definitely something to shed light on. But even so, giving you guys a little bit more context as to what MMA's situation looked like. The title of his video was, of course, not in English, but translated, it is "Just Not This, my account has been hacked. How so?" And in the video, he goes on to explain what ended up happening to his account. And unfortunately, I don't speak Russian, but YouTube does have a auto-generated subtitle function for any language out there, or most languages, but it's not the greatest. But in general, what I took away from it was an issue with Supercell ID, or I shouldn't say an issue in general, someone exploiting Supercell ID or targeting Supercell IDs out there. Which then brings us to the maintenance break that came out earlier here this morning, which is also going to be a nice explanation as to why it ended up coming out. I saw a few people a little bit disappointed about the timing of this maintenance break, saying that it kind of disrupted Club League in a very bad timing. So I think it should be good to give you guys a little bit of peace of mind or an explanation behind the maintenance break itself. But we have Frank saying here, "Our server engineers have the liberty to run maintenances also without anyone else, example community managers, being available in cases of critical issue, etc. Since I'm off, no clue what's happening, but I'm sure it's important." So it is a nice little side note to keep in the back of your guys' mind. Maintenance breaks don't always have to be scheduled, and it's not always the responsibility of the Brawl Stars dev team. When things like this pop up, it could be a very critical thing that is being addressed to protect the game and to protect the players. So if a maintenance break pops up at a very unusual time, I would assume or keep in the back of your head that it's probably something very important being addressed. It's not the Brawl Stars dev team putting it at this very unfortunate time to screw over people or anything like that. But the specifics of the maintenance break are as followed. Fix some issues related to Supercell ID. If you requested a login code yesterday, you might have to re-log into your account again. So it appears that the maintenance break was an urgent one to address these issues that have been popping up here recently. So a very, very good maintenance break, even if it was at an unfortunate time and disrupted some Club League for all of you guys. guys out there. These things are important. Now, when it comes to things like this, I'm sure you've all heard from other people out there. It's very, very important to protect your personal information so you can avoid certain situations, much like MMA ended up going through and a few others in the community. But it's important to keep in mind that the Supercell ID platform is super secure. It's the reason why we don't see these things happening a whole lot. So it's not going to happen that much to you guys. It's not something that you have to stress about too often, but there are some warning signs that you should be keeping in mind. A really good example is if you check your email and you see some messages pop up as if you were trying to log into your Supercell ID, so like a code being sent to your email, that might be something that you don't want to neglect or something that you just kind of want to forget about, because more than likely it means that someone knows your email or something like that. But there are some steps to make sure that you're protecting your account. There's a way through the Supercell support system if you think you're in danger or you feel a little bit compromised on your account, i.e. maybe if you do get an email that is a little bit strange, maybe you think someone's trying to log into your account, you can contact support to change your email. And in extreme cases, if you do think someone actually got onto your account, i.e. you can't log in or something like that, you can also lock your account through Supercell support. But thankfully, after the super fast maintenance break after the issue was noticed, they corrected the issue, it appears. So that is definitely always nice to know that they are fast when things like this happen. Dude, sometimes the internet is a very scary place. Things like this will always happen. There's always like weird people out there, and so it's always super important to keep your information protected and things along those lines. Never give people your email address that's connected to your Supercell ID and stuff like that. So I guess the biggest thing that we can all kind of take away from this, or I guess the main reason I wanted to make this video, is just so you're all aware and just a nice little reminder to keep your stuff protected, right? Just keep on top of it. But to switch our focus so we all can kind of have a breath of fresh air, getting away from kind of the scarier news here today, I wanted to address some other really cool things that have been happening as of recently. As you can see, a tweet from the Brawl Stars Twitter page one day ago, we have, any tips you want to share? The best ones will be added to the game in the next update. Isn't that crazy? Guys, I feel like if you're watching this video, you have been playing Brawl Stars long enough to have read a lot of the tips, or even played long enough to just kind of neglect them. You forget about them, but they're always there, man, trying to give you those tips. And most of the tips aren't crazy useful for established players or experienced players. So I guess this is their way of getting direct feedback from the Brawl Stars community on what tips you think are the best for newer players or players that would actually benefit from these tips, which is really cool. I feel like in most games, when it comes to like the tip stuff, it's always the most generic, most like obvious things that don't really help out a whole lot, you know what I mean? So it's cool, man, some tips that actually might be beneficial. And of course, with a tweet of this nature, there's going to be some really funny stuff and some good stuff for the actual tip section. But if you want to laugh, some of these tweets are awesome, such as Dandy here, check your internet before playing. That's a good tip. Spen had such a good one here. You could play Mortis on modes other than Brawl Ball. A phenomenal tip, man. So yeah, I thought it was just a really cool post overall, right? It showcases that the Brawl Stars dev team likes our help and likes our input on certain things such as tips for new players. And also we got a couple laughs out of it. Not bad if I do say so myself. We just touched upon this in a recent episode of Brawl News with these special offers for star points being for Mega Brawl Boxes and Brawl Boxes and just progression overall coming out a little bit more frequently. I feel like it was just about a week ago when we were able to purchase this, so it's really cool that we've been able to get these a bit more often. Again, make sure to let me know if you ended up getting anything significant out of these. I think we can all agree star point Brawl Boxes just feel straight up free, right? It's awesome. So don't mind if I do. I'll take the free coins, man. And gear scrap. Holy man. No one's gonna argue with that, right? It's beautiful. And lastly, the final thing I wanted to do here in today's video, something that I've been wanting to do for quite some time, but just couldn't find the video that I would fit in nicely. And that is, of course, opening up this update's unique pin pack, the Deep Sea Brawl pin pack, which I always enjoy doing. We have one more skin left to obtain, which we don't have enough gems for. But now we do. Let's get this last skin so we can see this beautiful pin pack being opened. And you know, hey, this Bell skin is actually insane. But let's go. Look at that Colt pin, dude. Oh my gosh. It's another pew pew pin for Colt. This guy's stacked with the cool pins. But yeah, everyone, as I always try my absolute best to do, just getting that info out to you guys, some of the more important stuff that I feel like you should know about with this. Even though it's kind of more scary news, I feel like it's pretty dang important to know about. So of course, hopefully you guys have been enjoying yourselves with Brawl Stars as of recently, and make sure to keep up that solid grind out there. Thanks for watching. As always, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one. Adios and take care.